What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Catalyst, bringing you a little something different today. I know I've given you guys some S&D tips and tricks videos before, but this time I wanted to switch it up and give you guys a little bit of hardpoint. So that's what I'm going to do for you guys today. Alright guys, so as you guys know, the first hardpoint is in the middle of the map. Now first off, you want one guy inside the hill, making sure they get the time. This head glitch is probably the best spot if you spawn in the CDP side. If you do spawn in the Black Ops side, this corner is probably good because you don't want to expose yourself to the lab right here. So if you do spawn in CDP, you're gonna got one guy right here. Next up, you're gonna want a guy that's with an MA either up here, picking up guys top or bottom broken, or they can watch Palace if they're spawning there. And then probably a guy back in these generators. They can watch flank. They can get a couple different kills using the head glitches here, and make sure that no one's gonna come from behind the guy in the hill. And that way, if someone in the hill does die, the guy from up here or the guy behind the generators can come and swap out and, trade some kills. You can also sit here. It's a pretty good spot. Or here. But yeah, basically you got one guy in the hill, one guy most likely up top there, and one guy playing back here. You can mix it up a little bit, but that's basically what you want. And then the last guy you're going to want with an AR top gen. This is probably the strongest position on this map. So you're definitely going to want a guy back here. You can get a lot of easy kills. It's easier to kill the guy broken because you have a better head glitch than they do. And yeah, that's probably the ideal setup for that hill. Okay, so to make it a little easier on you visually, this is the map breach. This is the middle square here. Like the top gen, top broken. This is where like BS&D is, AS&D. But yeah, so to show you the setup I'm talking about, if you do spawn CDP side, you want a guy right in this square here. He's going to be on top of the square, playing the head glitch there. Someone on one of these two back generators, and then one top gen. Now, if you do happen to spawn in Black Ops, you're going to want a guy in this corner right here, as I said. If you do, slay out their team for the first couple of hills, it's definitely good to have a guy right here. It makes it easier to kill the guy top gen if they do go there. And, yeah, or if they jump up here. It's just a really good spot. So one guy there, one guy in the hill, one guy playing the back gens, pretty similar to the last one. You can use some of those other spots I showed you, these little like creases coming out. But I'd say the back gens are pretty solid. And then one guy back here. And if you spawn Black Ops, you're gonna want one right in this corner, one up on top of the head glitch facing towards the top generator, one top broken, and one on one of these two back generators. I'd probably say this head glitch is the better of the two. So yeah, the CDP side is probably the better side on this map because you get to spawn closer to the second hill. So that's the side I would recommend you choosing. If you aren't the host, choose the CDP side because it's easier to hold those back spawns, and you'll be spawning behind the lab and close to the second hill, and it's definitely like an advantage. But if you are spawning on the Black Ops side, what you're going to want to do is around 15-20 seconds is start pushing through where the B-bomb site is in the search. It's probably the best way to push, and you just want to push through to get these back spawns again. So, you want to get on the hill, but you're going to want to push out and hold this back generator as well. So if you do end up, slaying out and getting control of the hill, what you want to do is have one guy back here, watching the flank. That way nobody can flank, and if someone is pushing up on these wall runs and he gets caught, you can help out. But basically focused on watching the flank. Then you want one guy right here with an AR probably as well. That way they can watch the jump up. They're probably going to be spawning back greenhouse. So he can watch the jump up and get, as many kills as he can if they're coming out porta potties or if they hit the wall run here. And if they do come through lab through this door, he'll be right here too. So it's a really great spot. So one there, one in the generator, and then I would say two in the hill. You got one guy probably behind this cage. He's got two guys watching his back, so no one's gonna come there, and he can get just easy kills and really not have to worry about his back. He just has to worry about these guys flooding in. And then the other guy, he can have an SMG too and just play like a different corner, wait right here or wait right here. But if he wants, he can have an AR and just kind of watch the jump in. He can get some easy kills on these guys that are just booking it, trying to get to the hard point. If they come through here, easy kills. Probably at least two of them are going to have SMGs, so he's going to win that gunfight. And if they do kill him, this guy is prepared, and the guys are probably weak, and they have to come right through the doorway for some easy kills. You can almost get about 60 seconds on that hill. So yeah, just to try and better visualize it for you guys, you're going to have a guy behind the generator right here, just kind of drilled in. He's going to be watching all of your flanks, so no one can come behind. Then you're going to have a guy in this corner that can watch this lab if they decide to come through mid, and the wall run, and if they come through porta potties, he can at least try and get kills or call people out that are pushing into the entrance here. Then you're going to have one guy behind the cage here, just looking through the entrance. His back is covered. He's good to go in that department. And then another guy that's either looking through the window here, trying to pick a couple people off, only peeking when necessary, or, he could be camping in another corner, just them two playing for trades as much as possible. That way, if you hold this and have the spawns, you're going to keep spawning back here. So you're really close to the hill, and they're just going to spawn in this back greenhouse area and just keep probably flooding over and over again this way. If they do take time to hit the wall run, go mid, then hit the wall run, come back, you're still going to be prepared for that as well. So it's a really good setup. Now the third hill is now in the palace down there. So if you're going to rotate, and you just had spawns for this hill, you're going to want to rotate through the back here. Now, there's a couple ways to do this, but I would rotate around 15-20 seconds again. For just about every hill in this map, you want to rotate early, besides for the first hill. So for this hard point, you're going to want two guys inside the hill. Now, you probably want them to be in alternating corners so they can watch two different doors. Now, my suggestion is that you have a guy in this corner. Now, he can watch this, but at least he won't be seen from the outside, but his main job is to watch this wall run. They come from the wall run, he can get some easy kills. And then have a guy in this corner with an AR, so if they are pushing through this generator area, I don't know what you guys want to call it, but if they are pushing through, he can get some easy kills, especially if they have SMGs, and if they come through the door, he's got them, and this guy can just focus solely on the wall run. Thirdly, you're going to want a guy here in this mid area. You're going to want him watching bottom broken or top broken. Now this is because they're going to be spawning in that back generator area, so they're either going to come through bottom or top broken, or come straight through the palace. So this guy can hold down these spawns, especially if they have SMGs, and it's just a really good head glitch. It's going to be hard for them to kill him, and if he does get killed, then you guys know to look out through that mid bridge. Or they can come back generator. People might be able to slide by, they might be able to get into this mid square here and kill him top gen, or they might be able to slide by or wall run or something, but it's an even better spot to just stay safe. You're going to hold these back palace spawns, which you want, and nobody's going to flank all the way around here, so he's not going to get flanked or anything, and if he does, then you guys know they're coming all the way around, but it's another really good spot to go at. So you have your third guy there, and then I would suggest having a fourth guy. He can do just about whatever he wants. You can have him behind the bar just laying down. You can have him sitting here with an AR watching the wall run. So that way he can just keep trading kills, and that top gen guy would just hold this back spawn. So anytime anyone dies, they spawn right here, they get back into the hill really quickly, and yeah, you're good to go. Okay, so to draw it out for you, you'd have a guy right here in this corner watching this door, so no one can get through here. Then you'd have a guy in this corner watching the wall run, so no one can get through here. And then you'd have a guy, either top gen or right here on the top square watching bottom broken, top broken, so they can't come through mid, and if they do, you'll get a call out. The two of you can make sure you kill them. Then you'd have a third guy that can kind of also watch the wall run through here with an AR, or, sit behind the bar and watch back here through the door with an AR, or just sitting there with an SMG and trying to get some more kills. That way, you guys guarantee you hold these back spawns, and they will continue to spawn back here where the Black Ops start, and your team will flourish. Now, if you do have control of this hill, you're going to want to push out early. So about 20-25 seconds, you're going to want one of these guys with an AR to push out. Push out to this generator and start holding spawns. That way, they can spawn further out, further towards the greenhouse, and the other guys through palace can come rotate with them. You're going to want to rotate through this back area, just because you're going to want these back spawns here. So if you can rotate here, win a couple of gunfights, and get into the greenhouse, that's the most ideal way to play it. Because the greenhouse is probably the easiest hill on this map to get all 60 seconds. So yeah, just like the Palace Hill, you're going to want to have 2 guys inside this hill. This is probably the best spot. I feel like it's not as often checked as that corner right there. And it's a good spot to get some easy kills. You know, if they come through Palace, you're going to get some kills. If they come on top of the greenhouse, you can see them come down. And if they come right here, you know, you can pick them off the head glitch, or if you have an AR, you know, same thing. But I'd suggest having an SMG in this hill. And then you can have a guy up here, or right here, or just have him behind the pillar, watching this, watching the flank. And if someone does push through, you know, they can get the callouts and hop out there as well. But yeah, so you have 2 guys there. Then you're going to want 1 guy in this statue here. That way, if they are coming bottom broken, they're coming top broken, you know, they can get some easy kills. Just play this area. That way you guys can't get flanked. And, you know, if this guy does die, you know, it'll make sure those people in the greenhouse know what's going on. But yeah, as long as he stays alive there, everyone's going to be spawning back here. And then you're going to want the 4th guy up here, top greenhouse. That way, chances are they're going to be spawning back by the 2nd hardpoint. And they're just going to keep flooding through this B-bomb site. So this guy can get some easy kills as they keep flooding the hill. And if he dies, you know, he won't spawn too far away. And if he does die, you got 2 people in the hill to clean him up. And then you got the guy, back statue, broken to hop out. So yeah, the basic goal here is to be spawning back here where the Black Ops originally spawned. Like I said, you're going to have a guy in this back statue. He's got bottom broken lockdown. He's got top broken if they, you know, come down the stairs. You have a guy behind the flower pots here, you know, watching this doorway. And then you have a guy in this corner watching, you know, if they come down or if they do come through the doorway or here, you know, he can clean up those kills. Basically, these 2 will be able to trade kills in the hill. And then you're going to have a guy up top greenhouse watching this way because they're going to be spawning back here and just keep flooding the hill, most likely, you know, through the porta potty side. But if they do come through mid, you got that lockdown as well. And it can almost guarantee you 60 seconds on this hill. And for the last hill, you're going to want to rotate again around 15 or 20 seconds. You can just leave 1 guy to get the last hill time, and the rest can rotate through. You're going to want to push up this left side and go all the way back, you know, if you have time. You're going to want this back lab spawn because it's the best spawn for the hill. You spawn right on top of the hill, and the other guys will be spawning like bottom broken or palace, and it's just a better spawn. So what you're going to do is want 1 guy watching this front door, you know, whether he's right playing the door, just like peeking every once in a while, or playing this corner right here, just making sure he has that door locked down. And then you're going to want a guy somewhere in these barrels, you know, watching this door, or up here watching the door. Now this 3rd guy, he's also going to be holding down the side door, but he's going to be back here again, watching if they push through the porta potties, and just holding down the side of the map. You know, if people die, or if the guy watching the front door dies, you know, he can just turn in here, get a couple easy kills, and continue doing what he's doing. And if he does go down, this guy here can get an easy cleanup on the guy. And then the 4th guy is going to be top gen, just clearing out basically everybody that's coming through the middle of the map. And if they are flanking through Palace, you know, he gets some easy kills here. You know, you can sit up on the head glitch and not really worry about dying. So yeah, to draw it out for you guys, you'd have a guy probably in this corner right here, or, you know, sitting where they can't see you in the middle of the map, but watching this front lab door. Then you'd have a guy in this corner watching the side door, or being able to pick up the guy in the front lab if they do come. Then you'd have a guy out here watching the side door as well, and anybody coming from the porta potties here. So this door would be, you know, watched, this door would be watched. Really, you just have to worry about the stairs. And you're going to have a guy top gen, you know, also watching mid, trying to pick off the guys coming with SMGs, either through Palace, mid, or even through this outside Palace too. So he'd have this lockdown, and everything would be watched, and you guys would be spawning back here, you know, unless anybody happens to slip through. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, I know it's a little something different, but I thought it would help some people out, especially, you know, if they're just beginning to play Hardpoint. If you guys did, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does mean a lot. And other than that, I'll see you guys back again on Sunday.